Let me do like this so you can see the hat. The top is like, I love that. I love that little, see, because this one has wire in it. You can do it any kind of way. I so love that. I think I might do that. Isn't that fun? OMG, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because then you can see the whole thing on camera. OMG. And it's velvet, which I know velvet is not always the best thing for the summertime. And I am in Miami and there's palm trees outside, and to have velvet on with palm trees doesn't seem to go together yet. I like it. It's Professor McGonagall. Hey, love, hey, love, hey, love. Look at all our peeps, 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 look at all our peeps. It's Witchy Wednesday. It's Witchy Wednesday, it's Witchy Wednesday, it's Witchy Wednesday. Magic, 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 magic. Ah! Magic. Come on, family. It's magic, magic, magic. And today we're going to dive all into the throat chakra. Since this is my new tattoo, let me give you a couple of up closes. Ah, the Vishuddha. Oh, that's secret number 1. Let me not start with the secrets yet. Today I'm going to give you 5 secrets to the throat chakra. These are maybe not well-known secrets, little-known secrets about the throat chakra. Love the hat. This is Professor McGonagall. I love it. Hey, Estrella Luna. Hey, Ruby. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Estrella Luna, I have just been watching you, and now you're doing your, I know you've always been doing your lives on Facebook, and you've been doing readings. I've just been watching you blossom into just a magnificent witch. That's a very powerful witch. So amazing. So amazing. Keep it up. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. So amazing. So yeah, this hat is Professor McGonagall, Minerva McGonagall. I think that's the name of this hat. I have to double check to be sure because all the hats have names. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. It's Witchy Wednesday. Come on. Is that Mistress? Hey, Mistress. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? First, if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. We got tons of new subscribers. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you love the content on this channel is all about spirituality with a witchy twist, right? It's got a witchy flavor because I'm a witch, a Christian witch. I'm Reverend Valerie. Love, it's good to meet you. Hey, Centrally, how you loving? Ooh, out Centrally. Yay! Love you, Centrally. Mwah! Love you. Oh, love you, Estrella Luna. Mwah! That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And wow, you know, we've had some profound moments. And at the Mystery School in Sedona, we just saw some things from some of the witches that were spectacular and outstanding. And that's one of the things I love about our rituals when we have our rituals in Sedona. And when we do our rituals in Peru and all around the world, I love that we see the inner mage, the inner witch, wizard, warlock, mage, a magical being that's been there all along. I love to see it emerging into something magnificent in the third dimensional reality or the third dimensional world. For all of our new subscribers, welcome, 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 welcome. We love you. Would you do us a wonderful favor? Would you do us a wonderful solid and share the channel, share the channel, share the channel. This channel is going to 100,000 subscribers just like that. And if we can count on your help, can we count on you? Can we count on you? 100,000 subscribers just like that. Can we count on you? 100,000 plus subscribers. Can we count on you? Can we count on you? Family, LoveTubers, can we count on you, LoveTubers? Yes, can we count on you, LoveTubers? Hey, Marlo, how you loving? Mwah. Can we count on you, LoveTubers? 100,000 subscribers. Don't you love the channel? Don't you want the channel to exponentially expand this year? 100,000 plus subscribers? Yeah. Who's on board? Who's saying, yes, I'll help with that. I'll share the channel with someone. It's my little witchy pillow over there. Who's saying yes? Yes. Hey! How are you? Hey, mwah. welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, thank you, Marlo. Oh, Marlo, that's so beautiful. Marlo, a longtime member of the channel. Ruby says, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for all our channel members, thank you for your love and your support and sharing your abundance every single month on the channel. We love you, and we're always, always, always praying you up and holding you on our hearts for your partnership with the channel, for the channel to be exponentially supported by you amazing beings all over the world who are the channel members. Another channel member, Queen B, how you love it? Yes, mistress, you'll share, yay! So it's Witchy Wednesday, and this is Professor McGonagall, Minerva McGonagall, this hat that I'm wearing. All my hats have witch names of witches that I love and witches that I have been touched by. And so this one is Professor McGonagall, so I think you can see. Let me turn my, oh no, I'm not turning my light. I'm not turning on the light today. Hey, JC! How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? So we're going to talk about the throat chakra today. And why are we talking about the throat chakra today? This is my newest tattoo, the throat chakra tattoo. Oh, you love, oh, don't you love Professor McGonagall? And she can morph into all kinds of incredible things. She morphs into cats and whatnot. Oh my goodness, I love Minerva McGonagall. I love her. I love her. So this is, I believe this is Professor McGonagall. This is a velvet hat with a bow, and it's got ridges. And what I love about it, it's flexible with the, it's got a wire in it. Oh, the tattoo is fire. Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I so appreciate it. I want to share this with you all. So I ordered all my books. Yes, I do pay for my own books. Yes, I do. And this is the newest small version of Confessions. So you might have seen Confessions. Confessions used to be big size, like 40 money spells. It used to be the big size, 8.5 by 11. Confessions, new 2020 edition. This is the new 2020 expanded edition of Confessions. Oh, my life is in here, my exit from the cult. It's Witchy Wednesday, so if you don't have Confessions, pick it up. And I just wanted to show you the new smaller size of Confessions. It's still quite a read at like 400 pages, 300. Oh, it's only 350 pages. That's all. It's only 351 pages. Confessions, it's got quite a few. I mean, the stuff that's in this book, like so much of my life is in this book, it's quite shocking. Then, of course, the bestseller. Oh my goodness. This book today, she's like 20 something on the top bestseller list in Wicca and Witchcraft. OMG, she's been bestseller on Christian self-help. Can you believe this book has been bestseller on Christian self-help for weeks? Also, since emerging, since coming out in April, this one has been, hey, mwah, how you loving? This one has been, you ready for the wellness vortex? Oh, Tracy Van. Okay, very good, Tracy. Good, we'll talk, we'll connect. Yay, Tracy, yay, yay, yay. This one also, bestseller list for spiritual self-help. This book has been just incredible. So if you have it, it's so far 5-star reviews, so thankful. All 5-star reviews. If you have it and you haven't left a review yet, would you leave a review for us, for Christian witches and supporting Christian witches? And this book is not just for witchcraft. This is a great spiritual self-help book as well. And this one is Confessions. This is a nice little one if you want to just pick up something that's real simple to help you craft your own Christian witch's manifesto. This is my manifesto as a Christian witch, and it's how you can craft your own manifesto as well for the Christian Witch's Manifesto. So I had to share with you, looking at the books, oh my goodness, I can't believe it's helping Christians, because Christians are awakening, aren't they, Marlo? And I love that. I love that Christians are awakening. It's so beautiful. If Christians do not study the basis of their own religion to understand that the roots of Christianity is pagan, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It is now common knowledge. It is available all over the internet. There is no longer any reason to be willfully and woefully ignorant. We have the resources at our fingertips, and every church-going, card-carrying Christian can look at all of Christianity as a whole, including the archaeology involved with Christianity, what has been pulled out and unearthed from things like Elephantine Island and all over the world gives us a very powerful, powerful picture of pre-Christianity, where it came from, and that all the roots of the tree of Christianity is pagan. Now, if Christians don't know that, that is at this point willful ignorance, and it will not be tolerated in the age of enlightenment. Woo! Oh, really, Marlo? This is how you've helped me the most. Yay! Oh my goodness. It is now available for study all over the world, and there is no reason for Christians to be ignorant about the roots and the beginning and what is intrinsically woven in to the Christian religion: magic, mysticism, pagandom, witchcraft, all of it. It's woven. Goddess worship, it's woven in. It's woven in, and we must now come to the understanding, because understanding leads to peace. Peace among Christians, peace among witches. And if you foster the peace within yourself of your Christian and your witch. See, I had a Christian on one side and a witch on the other side. Neither one was going anywhere, and they were sort of in this standoff. And I said, oh, Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God. And why were they in a standoff? They were in a standoff because in my mind there was a divide. There's not a real divide. My mind made that up based on what I was taught in fundamentalist Christianity, that everything was the devil. Well, everything's not the devil, and I feel that the devil is getting way too much credit now. And as a matter of fact, we're talking about the devil more than we're talking about God. When every other word out of a Christian's mouth is the enemy, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. Everything is not about the devil. Actually, for me, nothing is about the devil. It's all God, 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 and more God, and everything is God in some form or fashion, including demons, including the devil, Lucifer, Satan, or these different entities that people want to transpose and act like they're one and the same when they're not. Satan means adversary, opponent. What does that mean? It means the necessary resistance you require for you to rise higher. If you didn't have resistance, you wouldn't build muscle. Everything's God, right? Isn't that what we know, Estrella Luna? Everything's God. Everything is God. Everything is God. Everything is for God. Everything is God. If we say God is omniscient, that means all-knowing. If we say God is omnipresent, that means everywhere present. And if we say God is omnipotent, that means all-powerful. Excuse me. Where does the devil factor into that? I'd like to know. Bring yourself out of duality into oneness. Out of duality into oneness. Okay? Right. We're getting there, family. We're getting there. And I'm going to keep teaching and keep exposing and keep bringing truth and keep bringing science, archaeology, all of the sciences that are just, we study these sciences in the Christian Witches Mystery School. And if you're not in the mystery school with us, go and apply. We have many people that have applied. And if you do apply, fill out your application to get into this school. This is a premier magic school. Okay? This is a premier school of magic. The Christian Witches Mystery School, of which Estrella Luna has been a student, and many of our beautiful LoveTubers have been students in the Mystery School. And currently, the Mystery School has a class going on, and you can still join this class only up till the fall equinox of this year, because it's a one-year program, and you're initiated on the fall equinox of next year. So you have to be in by the fall equinox of this year so that you can be initiated at the fall equinox of next year. We meet privately on Zoom once a week, 5 a.m. Monday mornings, and we go into the mysteries. We dive deep into the secrets. We study all the connections. We study the connections between magic, Christ, sorcery, ancient Kemet, also known as Egypt. You see, these are things that we study deeply in the mystery school so that we can apply them. We're not just studying them to be big heads. We're studying this so that we have a visceral connection to magic, so that we become more of who we truly are, which is magic, and so that we effect powerful magic on the planet. This is not just an exercise in filling your head with a bunch of shit. I don't care about knowledge. I care about the effect of knowledge when we have truth. See, because truth sets you free, and only the truth is true, and nothing else is true. Truth sets you free. And as long as we do not know the truth, Christ said, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Isn't that what Christ said? Christ said, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Isn't that what Christ said? That once you know the truth, it sets you free. But if you go and sit in the church every Sunday and listen to the pastor, yes, pastor, preach, pastor, take your time, pastor, you keep doing the same fucking thing every Sunday morning. Stop. And start to examine, well, pastor, what about this? Start to ask high-level questions that are not answered in church, because church is wonderful. I love church. Church is kindergarten. Just understand that. That's all. It serves a purpose. And who stays in kindergarten for 40 years? Nobody. We ought to becoming higher, and that we are asking questions that cannot be answered in church. Then you know you're getting somewhere. I was asking so many questions. Well, what about so-and-so? What about so? Jonah? He was in the belly of a real whale? Yes. For 3 days? Yes. How did he eat? How come he didn't drown? Can you live in the belly of a whale for 3 days? Yes. It's a miracle. It's God. This doesn't fucking make any sense. Like, I was 7 and 8 asking questions like that. Like, something about this story is not adding up, because they never told me the metaphysical understanding of Jonah being in the deep unconscious, represented by the whale. They didn't tell me what the whale represented allegorically, metaphorically, astrologically, metaphysically. They didn't tell me what the deep ocean symbolized. They didn't give me the answer, the deeper answers and mysteries. They gave me the surface story, and I just wasn't satisfied. I could not figure out Jonah to save my life. I just started losing faith. I said, something about this story don't smell right. Something about, look at my head shaking. Baby, something about this story is not adding up. Now, I don't know if anybody, and then you look around, everybody's like, yes. And then you start thinking you're the weird one. Am I the only one questioning this story? Let me get to, no, maybe I missed part of the story. So Jonah, they threw him yes, they threw him overboard. A whale swallowed him. Yes, normally you would die. You go jump out there now and let a whale swallow you. Are you still alive? I don't think so. I don't understand this. What are we talking about here? See, my soul was like, they got the story. Baby, they only telling you part of the story. Well, where's the rest of the story? What the rest of it? I want the whole thing. Child, you ain't going to get the whole story in church. It's not designed for that. It's designed to give you an introduction. It's kindergarten. That's what it is. It's kindergarten. It's designed to give you a protocol for people that don't have good sense. Don't steal. They need to give you the 10 commandments. Don't steal. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Okay. Don't murder nobody. Okay. You need that when you're tiny. When you're 2, I have my 3 grandbabies, 7, 5, and 3. When they were all 2 or 1 and they were toddling around touching everything, they go to touch the stove. No, don't touch. Hot. If you're 15 and you don't know how to operate a stove like a master, something's wrong. So when you are little, you don't play with the energies of fire, electricity, sexuality. You don't deal with these energies. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. That's why they tell you that in church. No, don't touch. It's like, don't touch sex. Hot. The stove is hot. Why? Because they're not talking to a tantric master. They're talking to a fucking spiritual babe. You shouldn't be fucking around with sex if you're a fucking spiritual babe, because you're getting all intertwined with all these different energies. You don't know what the heck you're doing. You're creating all kinds of disastrous stuff in your life with your sexual energy. You're going into sex fearful and controlling and manipulative. And because sex has such a powerful energy, you just creating big swirls of that to come back to you and all the rest of us on the planet. It's like, no, 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 don't touch that. Well, why not? Sex is how we all got here. These people don't have the answers you're seeking, baby. They're just not there. That is not where you're going to find the deeper mysteries and the truths. And so when there was a quote in a magic book that said, when you no longer are satisfied by the answers in church, you would invariably wind up in one of the mystery schools. Invariably. Let's read it. Morning, love. Oh my gee, I have something to add. Use your throat chakra in the morning when the sun is rising. Ooh, like a rooster. Roosters can praise. Woo! I love that. I love that. So let's get into these 5 secrets of the mystery school after my rant on Christians and understanding. If you're Christian, wouldn't you want to understand your own faith? I did. I love Christianity. I wanted to understand it metaphysically. Who was Christ? Who was this person that we're still talking about 2,000 years later? What was he really about? Well, he spent all those years in Egypt. That's a clue. That's a clue. Maybe I ought to go to Egypt. Why do you think the mystery school is now in this Egyptian program? It's a clue. We're doing the same thing Christ did. He spent years in Egypt, grew up in Egypt. Learn the magic, the mystery schools of Egypt. Come on. Come on. Get on up in there. 5 secrets of the throat chakra. Why are we talking about the throat chakra? Well, first, I have my new throat chakra tattoo, and I'll show it to you close up again. Okay. You may be seeing it reversed because of the camera. It reads exactly as if you would read it correctly, like on a piece of paper, if you saw it on a piece of paper, or on a temple wall. There are 2 reasons why I have this throat chakra tattoo. One is because several months ago, I had a very profound experience. You know how you keep traveling on the path of destiny, and it gets clearer and clearer and clearer? Hey, Dawn Michelle, how you loving? You know how that happens? You know how you keep traveling the path of destiny, and things get clearer and clearer, and you see more, and it brightens and brightens the more you walk the path? I had yet another one of those experiences, and it never ends. It's a continual unfoldment. It's infinite. Well, I had one of those experiences, and this is what it looked like. I was in the sleep state, the state between sleep. I wasn't quite in a sleep state. Let me rephrase that. I was in the netherworld. The netherworld is between sleep and waking. And if you look at your, hey love, how you loving, Joanne? And if you look at your levels of consciousness, we have beta consciousness, alpha consciousness, theta, delta. Beta is high level brain waves. And remember, each of these 4, they're not finite. They each have a range within them, and they're dynamic, okay? So if you're in beta consciousness, this is full on awake. This is like consciousness we're in right now. Full on, awake, aware, walking around. It's 12 noon, high in the sky. This is probably high beta, okay? Beta consciousness is your full waking state. Alpha. Alpha is the nether region. Alpha is the between beta and theta. Alpha is where you are when you're falling asleep, and alpha is where you are when you're waking up. Alpha is the doorway. Come on! I know that's right! Oh my goodness. You're a singer. You're gonna love this conversation today about the throat chakra. You're gonna love it. Money in the vortex. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love this conversation today about the throat chakra. For all you singers, speakers, authors, writers, expressionists, artists, expression. For everyone who's in some kind of creative expression endeavor, thank you for your super chat, billionfold return to you. Mwah! Love you. Gotta send love for the abundance. Love, love, love. For all you singers, speakers, authors, writers, all who are, oh, you're about to light your chakra candles. Whoa, I know that's right. This is for you. And really, that's all of us, isn't it? That's all of us. We're all in some kind of expression of creativity. That's where it's expressing from. It's expressing from right here in the throat chakra. This is the center of expression. So, beta consciousness, alpha consciousness in between, falling asleep, waking up, sort of altered states of consciousness, theta, deep sleep. The brain waves are very still, deep sleep. You are now in a state of consciousness where you can do lucid dreaming. You're dreaming, you're seeing things in other dimensions, you're clearly in another dimension. Your soul may have even left your body. It is said that your soul leaves your body when you're asleep and travels all around, okay? Travels all around. Woo! I tell you one thing. Hello? Hello? Love it, love it, love it. So it is said that your soul leaves your body at night as you're in this deep sleep. And I can't leave when you're in alpha. Or, come on! I know that's right! Wow, money in the vortex. Excuse me, a billionfold return to all our super chatters. Water. My throat has been throwing off something. My body has been throwing off something in these last couple of days, and I'm very thankful for the body doing what it's doing. Beta consciousness, alpha, theta, delta. Theta is where we are. Theta is where you are totally in the dream state. Your soul can leave your body in theta. It cannot leave your body in alpha, and it certainly can't leave your body in delta and beta, because you're walking all around, you're talking. Your soul can't leave your body when you're in beta. When you are in beta, alpha, theta consciousness, Theta, when you're in theta consciousness, your soul goes to have adventures. It leaves your body, and the angels tend your body, the shell, while your soul remains connected to your body, but your soul is infinite. Your soul can go anywhere, do anything at any time, and it's still connected to the body for the vital life force of the body while you're asleep. But you're really in this almost corpse state. As a matter of fact, scientists don't even truly know what sleep is. They will tell you, we don't really know what sleep is. We know what happens to you, but it is almost close to death, right? This corpse kind of situation that you go into every night. And while you're there, your soul is traveling. And many times, for many of you who are masters of magic, practitioners of magic, you're light workers, you're people who are here to accelerate the ascension of consciousness on planet Earth. You are going to places like the schools of the Ascended Masters. So the Ascended Master, Saint Germain, has a school in the Grand Tetons. I've been in his school many times. You probably even remember being in the school. You wake up and you know some things, or you wake up and you're operating at a higher frequency. You wake up and you have these tremendous remembrances, maybe being in a cave or something like that, because the entrance to the school of Saint Germain is through a cave. It's like you're going into a mountain. So when you go into the school of Ascended Master Saint Germain, it's in the Grand Teton Mountains. This is where you are now being taught about your whole soul experience, the multiple dimensions. And Saint Germain is the master teacher of that school, just as Saint Germain is the keeper of this age of Aquarius that we are entering into. Now, Christ, as Ascended Master Christ, was the keeper of the age of Aquarius, of the age of Pisces. And since we move backwards in the zodiac, we go from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, and that way. So now we are exiting the 2,000 or so years of being in the Piscean age, which was Christ, the keeper of the Piscean age, water, fluid, a lot of emotions, a lot of wars on the planet, all things water. And we are moving backwards now. Well, not backwards, but this is just how it moves around the zodiac, right? Now we are entering the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius is all about air. And as you can see, the age of Aquarius, the first light or the first energies of the age of Aquarius started hitting the planet in April of this year. And therefore, we are now having these total disruptions in the air. Air is, they've been talking about Rona going through the air, because what the age of Aquarius is the element of air. The age of Pisces is the element of water, right? So we're going into the age of air now, and we're thinking differently, and we're looking at all of our establishments that are air establishments. Thinking establishments, intellectual establishments like the justice systems and governments and things like that, all falling, and all things there. Now, because you are in this deep sleep state, Saint Germain can deal with your soul, because your body is out. Why is this a good thing? This is a wonderful thing, because when you're in beta consciousness is egoic consciousness, which is not a bad thing. It's just human. And so when we're talking to you and you're in full-on beta consciousness, not in any kind of altered states of consciousness, your thinking mind is on, which means your critical mind is on, which means you're analyzing things that are coming in, and you're judging them, and you're saying, I don't believe it, and you're comparing it to what's already in your mental banks, and you're tossing out things, and you're judging. You can't turn that off, because that's human. That's beta consciousness. That's what beta consciousness does. Beta consciousness is a slicing, discriminating level of consciousness. That's why you're not going to create the best from beta. You've got to get into alpha. Alpha is the doorway to the subconscious. And then theta is where you really go into deep meditation, or even deep sleep, or REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep. When you're sleeping, you're deep in the dream state, or lucid dreaming, or when you're having an ayahuasca experience or a shrooms experience. See, all these are theta consciousness going on down to delta. What is delta consciousness? Delta consciousness is God consciousness. So even below the level of, and I'm saying below, it's not in levels like that, right? We're just putting it in these terms so that we can understand it cognitively. They're not levels. They're ways of being, states of being. So when you go to delta, delta is God consciousness. Delta is one with the all. Delta is all. Delta is when you are completely in one with all that is. Okay? And you can see the brain waves at delta are just about still. This is not a thinking level of consciousness. This is being consciousness. Like, okay? Altered states of consciousness. Most people spend most of their time in beta. You can see why their life is messed up. They're so in beta. Beta is busy. Beta is human. Beta is discriminatory. Beta is knocking out all the things that are best for your soul. Beta is attached to survival, making enough money. Am I going to be on the rat race? I got to do this. I got to do that. Thinking about this, thinking about that, thinking. That's why you are exhausted at night when you fall into bed. You're not exhausted because your body's exhausted. You're exhausted because your mind had 80,000 thoughts today in beta. So the idea is, even as you're in beta, being a more, what's the word, Holy Spirit? Be in a more calm, peaceful state of beta. You can be calmly alert. You can be alert. This is the state where you're creating many times. You see the brain waves of, like, if you're looking at my son, the artist, and he's painting, he's in full-on beta, yet he's not in busy thinking consciousness beta. He's alert, yet he's in the zone. Okay? Why do we talk about that? We talk about that because we are now in the age of Aquarius, where it is air. Air is associated with the throat chakra as well. So the first secret that we want to talk about with regard to the throat chakra is its association. First, I want to give you the name. That's really the first secret. Then we'll go to the next secrets. Vishuddha. Vishuddha, also known as Vishuddhi. And this is from Sanskrit. This is Hindu. It's beyond Hindu yet. This is where we get this wisdom from people in the Indian part of the world. Okay? Now, Vishuddha. Ooh, you're an Aquarius. Love it. It is spelled V-I. This is the Vishuddha. This symbol, Vishuddha. This is the throat chakra, also known as Vishuddhi. How do you spell it? V-I-S-H-U-D-D-A, or an I at the end rather than an A. What does Vishuddha mean? This is the second secret. So the first secret is the name. Let's go to the second secret. The second secret is the meaning is especially pure. Put it in the chat. Pure. Put it in the chat. Pure. This is going to be very important for going to our third secret. Pure. Put it in the chat. Pure. 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 That means you want your words to be purified. You want your expression to be pure. Yes. As best we can, family, right? We're just doing the best we can, and we're being the best we can. Yes, pure, pure. This is related to purity. Okay? Yep, that's right. That's exactly right. Maybe that's why Jesus said not to worry about where you will sleep or what you will eat. Absolutely. Pure. Now, listen to this with regard to Christ speaking about the throat chakra. Are you ready for the next secret of Christ? I might even give you more than 5 secrets, but are you ready for the next secret? Christ teaching on the throat chakra. We wouldn't know that he was teaching about the throat chakra if we didn't understand and we didn't do greater seeking and teaching than what we were taught in church or wherever we were. If you didn't go beyond, you wouldn't know anything more than what they told you. This is what Christ said about the throat chakra. He said in the Bible, you've read this many times, it is not what enters a man that defiles the man. When we say man, we mean humankind. We don't mean male, female, or other. We don't mean penises and vaginas. We mean energy. As a child of the divine, a child of God. It is not what enters this person that defiles a person, because they were asking Christ, well, what about these ceremonial ways of eating? What about the purity of eating from Moses and the prophets? And he said something very powerful. This is a teaching on the throat chakra. If you can intuit it, he said, it's not what goes into a man that defiles a man. It is what issues forth from a man that defiles a man. What does that mean? You can either have a pure expression or a defiled expression. Very, very important. Purity or defilement. And we're tending more toward purity. Now, here's the next secret for those, come on, for those who have ears to hear. Because look, I'll be like this with the universe. What does that mean? Well, what does that mean? Man, I be asking the universe so many questions. Well, higher self, what about this? Well, angels, what about this? What about that? Man, I ask so many questions, it's not even funny, and all the answers are available to you. All the answers are available to you. A book will fall in my lap. A YouTube video will pop up. The whole thing becomes a great big school if you take it on as such. Here is the next secret. As the Kundalini energy rises, if your throat chakra is pure, the Kundalini can continue to rise. If not, it gets stuck. Woo! And your ascension is halted or slowed down, or you just kind of feel like you're moving through the muck. This is an energetic experience. This is a spiritual experience. This is why we have this. The Kundalini rising. What is Kundalini? Pardon me. Kundalini energy starts at the base of the spine. Spiritual energy for awakening. It looks like a serpent. It's a coiled up serpent. And when you start to do your spiritual practices, when you wake up and finally come out to church, and you feel a stirring, and you start looking for things, and you start seeking, and something's stirring, the serpent has awakened. Otherwise, the serpent was sleeping, coiled up, at the base of your spine, all the way down at the root chakra, sleeping, until you chose to wake up. Then it woke up and began to do this, curl in a fashion like this. Okay, this is Kundalini rising. The serpents, 2 serpent heads, curling. They curl around each chakra like this. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? Kundalini rising. Take shears. Kundalini rising. And it's curling around each chakra. And as we're to be doing the work of elevating, opening the chakras, becoming more spiritually aware. What are the chakras? They're portals to the divine. They're portals to the universe. We're to be activating the root chakra, activating the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, opening the heart chakra, becoming God. You're an energetic being. Well, when Kundalini continues to rise, if it gets to your throat chakra, this is happening. See, because nothing just stays still and stagnant like this. Everything is in movement. So here you have thyroid issues. You want to know where thyroid issues come from? Throat chakra. Look, everything originates in your energy body first before it comes to your physical body. You're an energetic being. That's why running to the doctor is not doing the whole job. Run to the doctor all you like. Keep getting pills for thyroid. Keep getting it. This is not medical advice. This is not to tell you don't go to the doctor. This is not to heal or cure or mitigate or diagnose any disease or illness. See your healthcare professional. And what I'm telling you is that when you see your healthcare professional, that will not be the whole story. That will not be the whole story. You've got to approach these things energetically. Energetically. Wow. Okay. You can clear those. You can clear all those in your throat chakra. Sound. And we'll give you some sounds in a moment. Sounds. That's right. Sounds. Now, excuse me. Here's the next secret about the throat chakra. Because the Kundalini is not going to be able to pass here until you clear this, it's not going to be able to snake around. And then when it comes up here, it snakes around like toward the back, and then it comes and it meets at the third eye. Then you have enlightenment. Mine are still working on it. Right? But we're in our process. It doesn't matter where you are in your process. Just keep going. It doesn't matter. No one's measuring where you are. Don't use where you are, because nothing in heaven is measuring where you are. Heaven doesn't even care where you are. Just keep going wherever you are, okay? Just keep going. Just keep ascending and keep rising. No one's measuring. There's no yardstick in heaven. Just keep going. Now, when the Kundalini energy reaches the third eye, we have enlightenment. The 2 serpents' head touches right at the third eye. Enlightenment, Christ consciousness, Buddha nature, whatever you like to call it. Every path has a name for it. They're all talking about the same thing, right? Be able to do the math and correspondence and say, oh, Christ consciousness is the same as Buddha nature. It just interfix. Don't get caught up on words or cultures or creeds or colors. People get so caught up. That's a web. That's a web. Because Buddha nature is still not the thing. Buddha nature are words pointing to the thing. And all these words, enlightenment, ascension, Christ consciousness, Buddha nature, they're all pointing samadhi. They're all pointing to the same thing that is this enlightenment. A free mind, a completely free consciousness, enlightened. Yes. So that's another secret of the throat chakra. If you don't do that work on the throat chakra, you're holding up your enlightenment. The next secret about the throat chakra. This is a 16-petaled lotus. Let's look at these 16 petals. Count them. Do you see? I don't know if you can count, but if you just take a screenshot and you count, you will see that there are 16 petals around the throat chakra. Each of these 16 petals has a sound. Now, I do not have all of the sounds memorized, yet I am learning each sound of the 16 petals. And if you speak the sound, of course, as we know, sound is healing, sound is vibration. This is why sound healing works. Singing bowls, drums, singing, speaking, chanting, mantras, because sound is energy. You are literally shaping the universe with sound. So each one of these, I don't know if Om is one of them. I'm learning more Sanskrit. And the Sanskrit has each sound, and maybe I'll try to find that video for you and link it up below this video, that tells you the sound of each petal. And if you were to speak, which I'm going to be starting doing this, speaking the sound, chanting the sound of each of the 16 petals, you will then be tapping into the dimensions of consciousness that are associated with the throat chakra. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. Calls coming in. Next, you are going to love this next secret that I'm going to tell you about the throat chakra. This is probably the most yummy, delicious part. Delicious, delicious. As you purify this energy center with meditation, spiritual practices, focusing on the divine, expressing your truth, speaking your truth, seeking to be pure in nature. Pure does not mean, hey Jerry, how you love it? Mwah. Pure does not mean good. Get that out of your mind. I could sex 10 people tonight and still be pure. Pure does not have anything to do with morals. Morality and purity are two different things. We're talking about not the morality, what you do with your body. We're talking about purity, the condition of your soul. Ooh. Because I see some dirty souls being very moral. They won't sleep with nobody's husband or wife, but they are just lusting after them in their heart. They won't steal anything, but they're imagining, why do they have that house and I only have this little house? And inside of them is not a pure soul, because they're, coveting something that belongs to somebody else. Why can't I have that? Or somebody is up getting some wonderful prize and they're clapping. They're clapping. Inside, they're like, I wish I had that. Why do they always win everything? Dirty souls. That's not pure. That ain't pure. That ain't pure. But you don't sex other people other than your husband or wife, and you think that gets you to the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is within. That tells you that the purity is being determined by your inner state of being. It's not being determined by what you do with your body. I know a whole lot of people that would not rob a bank, but they're thieving on the inside. And Christ said, if you do it in your mind, you already did it, because you're harboring it in your heart. But you might not act on it. That's not purity. It's very moral. It's not pure. We're spiritual masters here. We are not going to fall into the traps of the masses. We understand that a pure soul means pure intention. We understand that a pure soul is a clear soul, not bogged down and gunked up with a bunch of stuff that you're angry at, don't like about this person, ratchet, mean, unforgiving, not being flexible, thinking it has to go your way, thinking that... I used to be all of that. I still can be, crazy as my ass is, but I tell you one thing, I do have enough awareness to say, okay, right now I'm being ratchet. Well, is that what I chose? Well, no, I chose to be Kaisi. I chose to be loving, and I chose not to cut nobody no more. Energetically. I might not pick up a knife. I'm definitely not going to pick up a knife and cut anybody. But how many people have I cut energetically? You know what? I just cut somebody with my thoughts. Which means, who was I really cutting? I was cutting myself. Understand how energy works. You cannot give something and not be having it in your own experience. You cannot give something to someone else and not be having it in your own experience. Matter of fact, whatever you give to someone else, you are solidifying in your own experience. If you knew the law, you would understand that. Now, the purity, as you purify this throat chakra, as you purify your intentions, right? You just become like water on the inside. That's all pure, fresh, clean water. Waters of life. You just become pure and fresh, undifferentiated. Undifferentiated means that you're not overly this or overly that. You're like source. God is undifferentiated. Pure energy, pure source. When you begin to really intentionally purify this center, guess what happens? Oh, y'all gonna love this. I need to see some more likes before we talk about this now. Smash up the likes, because YouTube has got to know to share this with a lot of people. Smash up the likes so the bots will get the message. Oh, this is content that's highly engaged with. Let's share this. Come on, we're teaching the bots when we smash up the likes. Beautiful, 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 because this message must be shared. I'm going to tell you something. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you, family. I'm going to tell you now the secret of what happens when you purify the heart chakra, the throat chakra. Kevin, this ready. Kevin said, ready. Let's go. When you purify the throat chakra, all the challenges of life that are being thrown at you will no longer be experienced as difficult. They will simply be experienced as lessons. I'm going to say that again. When this throat, I've been so deep diving into throat chakra. This is what the Sanskrit is the language of the gods, just like Hebrew is the language of the gods, just like hieroglyphics and Kemet is the language of the gods. There is a difference in how you experience the trials, which we all have, and you will continue to have. Look at my hat shaking. Oh, the trials of your spiritual path, you have them and you continue to have them. The challenges, the hardships, there are two ways to experience them. As hard, grueling, oh my God, something else got me, it's stopping me, it's working against me. Why is everything against me? Why is it so hard? Why am I going up a hill? It will shift to experiencing them as lessons. Ooh. As wisdom. Oh, this is wisdom being garnered. Your whole experiences of the hardships of life will shift energetically on its own when you begin to purify this center. And you'll feel it. You'll no longer feel it. Man, I used to feel like I was climbing Mount Everest just to go to the fucking supermarket. It was hard. Things were hard. People were hard. I was rushing hither and thither. I was out of my mind, depressed half the time, manic depressive, crazy. I was probably going back and forth from being manic depressive to being bipolar. I had issues. And I experienced everything it was very difficult. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, it's so hard to get anything done or to move forward, or you take one step forward, it seems like you get thrown 2 steps back. Like, what the fuck? That was my experience. What the fuck? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Now, let me look at the question. What did Kevin Wealthy say? What's one of the best ways to purify a throat chakra? Love it. Love it. The chant. And so the chant, because when you're chanting, have you ever noticed when you're chanting or when you're praying or when you're speaking, do you notice your whole being is vibrating? See, your whole being is vibrating, which means the whole universe is vibrating to that sound, to that frequency. And these chants of the 16 petals, you can just look them up. And I'm going to see if I can link it below this vid. I'm going to start doing each of those chants to these 16 petals. Do like a chant every morning for about an hour in the morning. Oh my goodness, if you chant for an hour, we chant every week in the mystery school. In the mystery school, every class we chant. We chant in our classroom because we are changing the energy. If you haven't gone to the mystery school yet, go to christianwitches.com, click on initiation, and you are going to see how you can come with us into this elite school of magic. We would love to have you. If you qualify, fill out the application. So chanting, I would say, Kevin, because chanting has done so much for me. It helps me raise the vibration. It helps me be on the right frequencies. It helps me expand consciousness. The chanting, that's number one. I would say number one, chant, 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 chant. And the beauty of chanting is it's your own voice, and your own voice is your most healing sound for you. Not singing bowls, not 416 hertz or 440 hertz on YouTube, not listening to Native American flute. I listen to all of these things. I listen to the high megahertz. I listen to the Native American flute because Native American flute just does something for me. It's such on a high vibration. All these things, singing bowls, I got them all. I got singing bowls, I got all that. Drums, yay, drums. Your most healing sound for you is your own voice and the frequency and megahertz of your own voice. Ooh. That's why if you speak it, if you chant it, and you chant it over and over and over, you're just going up the ladder. Woo, boo, you're just going up the ladder, Kevin. Don't you love it? Man, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm going to tell you something strange. I'm about to say something real strange. The more you chant, the less you pray. I know it sounds very strange from a person who's a minister, and I'm always praying, 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 praying. I wake up praying, I fall asleep praying, I pray throughout the day, I'm always praying. You will find that you don't have to pray as much when you're being. Does God pray? No. Have you ever thought about that? God doesn't pray. Well, why am I praying all the time? I pray all the time because I like to stay in a higher state of consciousness. And yet, if you're in a higher state of consciousness, do you need to pray? If you're in Christ consciousness, your prayer becomes like Christ. Father, thank you for hearing me. You always hear me. And then you distribute the bread and the loaves, and thousands of people are fed. It's very fascinating. That's what I found in my own practice, that the more being I am, the less doing I am. Prayer is still somewhat of a doing. Meditation is more of a being. But the less you'll have to ask God for and get if you already are it. I hope I said that clearly. Very humbly, I pray to say it clearly. I don't want to tell you not to pray. That's not it. Because I still pray all the time. My prayer life has changed over time. My prayer life has changed. Okay? Yeah, that's true. Not all prayers are petitions. You're absolutely right, Jared. Most of my prayers are not any petitions anymore. They're prayers of praise. They're prayers of, most of my prayers are prayers of praise. They're prayers of praise. They're prayers of supplication, prayers of petition, prayers of thanksgiving, prayers of miracle-inducing prayers. Like, I love prayer, man. I have written books on prayer. I'm writing prayers right now. I used to write prayers for and the newsletter in our spiritual community. I'm a big prayer person. I got a book of prayers, and those prayers are all different prayers. They're healing prayers. They're all kinds of prayers. What I'm saying is that, and I don't want y'all to take this that prayer, something's wrong with prayer. Nothing's wrong with prayer. What I'm saying is that the more you ascend, you will see that your prayer life will change, and you probably won't pray as much as you will be being. I don't know. Try it out. It might work differently from you. Oh, thank you. Mwah. It may work differently for you. And it is likely that it will work differently for you. This is your spiritual path, right? I honor all spiritual paths. I can only share with you what's happening on my spiritual journey. It's just a natural unfoldment. The other thing that I saw naturally will fall away is all these things. Like a lot of implements, like now I can just close my eyes and do magic just like that. Now, I knew I never needed wands. I love wands. You don't need wands. You don't need crystals. You don't need prayers. You don't need anything other than simply being. That's the ultimate. You don't need a meditation. See, if you're simply being, you're not even in meditation. You're simply being. You're simply being God. Is God praying? No. I want to be God. Because that's what God told me you are. God said, ye are gods. But see, when I'm more human, I got to pray to go up the ladder. But if I'm already in God consciousness, what am I praying to? What am I praying for? What would be the purpose of prayer? It's just like forgiveness. Forgiveness is a ladder. Prayer is, all these things are ladders. If you're God, are you forgiving? No. If you're God, are you praying? No. If you're God, are you meditating? No. You're God. So in these moments where I wish I could be God all the time. Well, you are God all the time. We don't act like it. If you're God, because God said, I created you in my image and likeness. That's what God said. What does that mean? That means ye are gods. Have I not told you ye are gods? God said, I'm the ocean and you are the ocean. Now, of course, we don't have the mass of God, right? So I'm a drop of the ocean. God is the whole ocean. Well, the drop of the ocean came out of the ocean. It is the exact same essence as the ocean. Your exact essence is exactly God. Oh my God. That means you can create, you can do everything, not on the scale. Of course, you can't create a whole solar system, but I don't know, maybe you can. Let's try it. It's not on the same magnitude as God. It is the same essence and energy as God. God said, I made all these things, and now we're going to make one like unto myself. Do you know what that means about you? And Christians will tell you that's blasphemous. But that's what God told me. And that's what God continues to tell me from the inside. That there's a God that lives inside you. But we're so busy being human. But look, if you're a human that needs prayer, you better be praying all day long, every day. If you're a human being that's still in anger, you better be forgiven every day, all day. And then one day you will wake up and the forgiveness will have fallen away. And you will see, what am I forgiving? Nothing was ever done to me. All of it was absolutely perfect, and all of it was for me. All of it helped me. The ratchet people, the stabs in the back, the seeming disasters, it was all for me. I see the grand plan now. This wasn't to destroy me. This was to make me into this was to remind me that I'm God. That's what that was for. Wow. Oh, thank God all that happened. You see, we will be mad if we're a nut and someone comes along with a hammer and cracks the nut open so the meat can come out. We'll be mad at the person. We're nuts. Somebody came along with a hammer and cracked us. Well, how are you going to eat the meat? How are you going to get to the meat if you don't crack the shell? We all got this stupid shell around us, built up from being on the planet and interacting with all these different people and having these terrible experiences. Seems so terrible. We didn't know that these experiences were doing something. We didn't know that there was a grand plan. We didn't know that God already knew every single person that was going to come into your life. We didn't know that there was a law and that the law is precise. We didn't know that everything happens for a greater reason. We didn't know that all things work together for the good of those who are called according to God's purpose, that love God and are called according to God's purpose. We didn't know that. We just thought random bad shit was happening to us. Yeah, you need to pray. Oh my God. God, look at this. This is some random bad shit that popped up again out of nowhere, out of left field, out of the blue. There's no out of nowhere. There's no out of the blue. There's no out of left field. It's a divine plan. Oh, it's a divine plan that your soul already signed on for a contract with God. We got your signature right here. We got your sigil on it. Okay? And your soul already signed up for all this before you came into this lovely planet called planet Earth. The experience on planet Earth. This is a roller coaster. We are on the ride. And you have to realize that everything that happens on the ride is not real, and that the real you could not even be on a roller coaster ride in the first place. The real you cannot be raped. The real you cannot be molested. The real you cannot be lied to. The real you cannot be betrayed. The real you cannot be murdered. The real you is indestructible. The real you is God. And you just keep getting more experiences to remind you. And when the throat chakra is purified, you take it as wisdom and knowledge, not as some horrible something that has now come up in my life that is so bad and horrible for me. Well, how are you going to make the shift? You're going to clarify, you're going to purify this center. You're going to purify this center. I do not speak on my own accord. Please, family, I just want you to know this. I do not speak on my own accord. I don't even know how I know these things other than God. I am sent here by God on a mission from God to serve and to teach and to share. That's the only reason God gives me privy to these things, because I told the angels and I told God and I told all the ascended masters, I promise to them, whatever y'all tell me, I'm gonna share it. And they said, we know. That's why we tell it to you. And that's it. I'm not special. I don't have access to anything no one else has access to. I'm accessing the same motherboard that everyone's accessing. That's it. That's all. I'm just in my destiny. That's how I know this shit. So I'm not here to try to tell you or make you think something or convince you. That's not my job. Nowhere in my job description from God is to convince. This is what the Spirit said to me. Right? This is how we started and how this throat chakra came about. Right? That was right at the heart chakra. I was in the BATD, B-A-T-D. I was in beta and I was in alpha, not beta. I was in alpha in the in-between from like coming out of sleep, meditative state. I was in an altered state of consciousness, and Spirit said, write, speak. I was like, sat up in the bed like, oh my God. Right was right here at the heart chakra. Right, I've been writing every day like a banshee since then. Right, that's what caused these to come forward. Now this one was already here. These were already here. That's what caused these to come forward. Some say the best book that I've ever written. That's where this came forward from. It didn't come forward from me. It came forward from something but beyond me. Because that book was written, published, edited, cover design, typeset in 3 weeks, and on the market in 3 weeks. How the hell does that happen? Spirit, and I just went along with the plan. I was like, okay, you can use my body. I was typing, I was like, ooh, this is some good shit. It's like a scribe. It's like being a scribe, a channel, a conduit. And yet you know that you are participating in something that is far bigger than self. So big. Oh man, I'm participating in something that's so far bigger than Valerie Love. It's not even funny. Oh, please. Valerie Love is 1% of what's really going on. Write, speak. And I've been speaking every day ever since. Speak. And the speak was right at the level of the throat chakra. When I got this message, write, speak. I was like, all right, that's all I need to be doing every day. I got my clear instructions from Spirit. And does God ever speak to us in more than 3 or 4 words at a time? No, because we can't even fucking comprehend it. If God told you more, if your intuition told you more than 3 or 4 words in a sentence at a time, you wouldn't be able to comprehend it. It only has 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 words like no, yes, okay. And you're supposed to trust enough to say, no, you're a no in my spirit. Well, why? I'm fine. I'm exactly what you're looking for. I have money. I have a big booty. I have a big dick. I got a big car. I got a big house. My spirit says no. And over here, your spirit says yes. Yes. Your mind can't catch up to what Spirit is doing. Your mind does, but people try to calculate it in their mind. Well, I think I want to go this direction because, or you wait to move until you can justify it in your mind. Your mind is, man, Spirit is so light years ahead of your mind. It's not even funny. Like my mind is like a newborn baby and Spirit is already in the next dimension. If I was waiting for my mind to catch up, I wouldn't be doing anything. You go with your spirit because you trust and you move and you have faith. That's certainty. Not belief in something that, well, I hope it's going to work out for me. No. Faith is certainty. I'm certain. My spirit says yes. I go this way. That's faith. And I trust I'm completely taken care of. This is it for me. And you move. And who the fuck knows why you're moving? I don't know. Why are you talking to that person? I don't know. Spirit said it. Child, I've called people before and I've said to them on the phone, okay, Spirit said to call you. What are we talking about? I don't even, just be honest. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. What are we talking about? Oh my God, Reverend Val, I'm so glad you called me. Because I was having this woe experience and da-da-da. Then it becomes clear. If I was sitting there in my mind, I would have said, but I haven't talked to that person. I don't know how long. Da-da-da. My mind, I'm an air sign. My fucking mind is so rational. It would just rationalize me right out of my blessings. Don't let that happen. we're going to conclude with this. Purify your throat chakra and experience life in a whole new way. I love you. It's Witchy Wednesday. Go out there and do some magic. Peace. Even better, be magic. Share this vid. ChristianWitches.com. Love you. Love you, fam.